right, guys, questions for Daniel?
We're talking about Arden Kiyaba. He got bigger a little bit. Have you gotten bigger in the offseason? Or?
I hope so. I mean, I'm not as big as Arden, but I'm trying to be fit. I think there's a balance of getting too big and just kind of managing my weight to be where I need to feel comfortable. Just so hopefully, kicking, you don't have to necessarily be the biggest guy. I know Janikowski was a bigger guy, and being 6'5" has its good things and bad things, but I think I'm learning my body and figuring out where that kind of happy medium is every day.
Coach Versace said that they wanted to bring you in probably a month before they actually did.
Mm-hmm.
You said you had some things you wanted to work on for. How hard was it? That must be a big decision to make, to turn down an opportunity with the team so quick. Was that a decision you came to on your own, or did you get some advice? How'd that
A little of both. Me and my agent obviously talked about it a good bit, but we just felt like at that time I could take a break, work on some things that I wanted to work on, because once you get into the season, you're just getting ready for Sunday. So it was nice to be able to step back, work on a couple little things, and then be able to, luckily this kind of circled around, and I was able to get a workout with them later. I knew an opportunity would come. Obviously, I didn't know where from, but I just wanted to make sure when that came, I was ready and would be ready for the rest of the season. So, had to pray about it and think about it, and kind of take a little chance that you never know if the trial workout's gonna come back around. But luckily, it did, and Oakland's been a great fit for me. So hopefully, just continue to grow from last season and continue to do that this season.
What are the challenges of repeating your swing, so to speak, at 6'5"? Golfers sometimes, taller golfers, have trouble repeating and being consistent with their swing. You obviously didn't have that trouble last year.
Yeah, it is a little more difficult. There's some bonuses to being tall. You have longer levers, and so you can get a little more force on the ball because you have a longer leg, but also you have longer legs, so a little degree off of my angles on my hip is going to be more off my foot, and so you have to be that much more detailed and meticulous, and that's something I've learned over the years in college, and especially now being a pro, just how important I have to treat the details every single day, every single kick. Coach Versace has helped me a ton in that. Just making sure I'm very exact on everything, because I can't get away with maybe some of the mistakes that a guy that's 5'9", 5'10", whatever. Some shorter kickers might be able to get away with.
The fundamental changes that you made last year before signing here obviously worked out really well for the rest of the season. Do you then continue to tinker at all over the offseason, or is that something where you just maintain and kind of stick with the season?
I wouldn't say you ever maintain. I think you're always getting worse or better, and so I think yes, I learned some things that worked last year, and I want to keep those things going, but at the same time, I always want to improve, and so I've been working really hard this off season. Obviously took a little break after the season and kind of got back to it, and I want to continue to build off of what I had last year and the things that were going well, but still continuing to improve every day. And I think for the most part I've been able to do that, and so that'll be the goal. Now as we wrap up mini camp and have a little break before camp, is just continue to get myself ready. So once season hits, I'm ready, and then hopefully we have a long season and get into playoffs, and I'm hopefully peaking come playoff time.
What then did you pinpoint to improve?
There's a lot of things. I think some of it was the technical side, some of it's the mental side. There's a lot of things, and like I talked about, being taller, you have to be very, very exact, and so continuing to be able to do that 9 out of 10 times, but now I'm hopefully going to be able to do it 99 out of 100 times, and so just trying to get better each and every day.
Sanchi was talking about kicking, and sometimes even if you make a kick, it's not necessarily the kick you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
You missed one field goal last year. Did you Did you hit all those the way you wanted, or some of those makes were they not what you wanted? And
Yeah.
they went through anyway.
Yeah, I would say definitely some of those makes were not perfect hits, and I think it's about, not every kick's going to necessarily be perfect, but it's important that in games and in the season that you're, not every kick has to be an A+ kick, but my B kicks and B- kicks are still going through. That's going to help me be more consistent. But in practice right now, I want to get as many A+ kicks as I can and continue to work on, hey, what can I do to make my B- ball stay straight, stay in the upright. And so, I think just continuing to learn that and work on that each and every day. Sometimes, even kicks that I miss are decently hit balls. I just, didn't play the wind right or whatever. So sometimes it's really you have to sit back and worry about the process, what you can control, not always worry about the result. And hopefully if you take care of the process, the result will take care of itself.
When you came in, when you finally signed up with the Raiders, and your first game, you missed a kick.
Mm-hmm.
Was it like a here we go again type of thing? Did you have to really kind of go back and?
Yeah, I think it was the second game at San Fran. But yeah, I hit a pretty good ball. It was one of those balls where I felt like I hit it somewhat solid, didn't play the wind, and the wind pushed it over and it hit the upright. And being through the cut with Minnesota and kind of the ups and downs, and I had that in college and high school. You have a lot of emotional ups and downs as a kicker, and so I think I had a conversation with Coach Bisaccia. Coach Grudem pulled me aside even and had a conversation that next week, and they just emphasized that they had confidence in me and they brought me in for a reason. And I had already experienced some lows, and I decided that I'm not going to be the kicker that gets too high when I'm doing well or too low when I'm doing poorly and miss a kick. And so it's just about getting back to work and continuing to improve, and just taking it one day at a time, because obviously I can't control what happened in the past, but I can control what happens in the future. So I think that's a big part of being a kicker, is having a short memory, learning, hey, what can I do to improve, but have a short memory where that last kick's not going to affect the next one.
Couple more guys.
What sort of role did Johnny have as a holder in terms of your success last season?
Yeah, I think that was huge. It's a lot of kicking. I get the spotlight, but Trent snapping, Johnny holding, the other guys protecting. That's just as important. I made all those kicks in the end, and had a little streak going. But each and every one of those was because 10 other guys did their job, as well as I did my job. So having Johnny, Trent. Now we have obviously competition, and we have a room full of guys that care a lot about helping me succeed out there on my job, and just making it easier for me. So it's a great room to be around, and those big guys up front. That's not always a fun job. Just kind of taking a rush to the face, and you kind of just got to hold your ground, and so it means a lot that those guys take it serious and do such a good job of it.
Being able to perform so well over a pretty decent sample size, the confidence gained from that, does that help you moving forward, playing such a mentally taxing position that you've done it well at a high level, up or down, that you can?
I think so. I think even some of the tough times and moments like that, I think those experiences help a lot. You grow a lot in adversity, and you hopefully you learn some things when you're doing well too, and you gain some confidence from that. But for me, last season was last season, and yes, it finished off great, but it's a new chapter now, and I'm just trying to get as prepared as I can to help the team, get some wins this season. And so I'm just really excited to be a part of this team, and excited where we're going in the future.
Last one, Michael.
When you met Andrew Paul last season, obviously he was already on injured reserve.
Yeah.
And a number of guys, when they're in IR, they kind of go away.
Mhm.
He was at the facility
Yeah.
quite regularly.
Oh, yeah.
What did his presence do just for Trent, for you,
Mhm.
for just the young batter
Yeah.
that it was, and now what's it like to see him back in the field?
Yeah, I think huge testament to him. You know, he was hurt, and like you said, he doesn't necessarily have to be around, but he was here every day, rehabbing, working on his own craft, getting better, getting healthy, where he's at today. But also, just we had 3 rookie specialists, which I think is pretty rare. I don't know how many teams have ever done that. But for him to be a resource to Trent, to us even, if we had any questions, we'd always ask him because he's been through it a little more than we have. Was just huge for us last season just to have that as a resource, and it's good to have him back and healthy and competing now again.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate it.